Yo, your mama wa kwa basronko so eba POG Media so yes just say no about subscribe na wa like Age Media no e dia mail bit so Age Media no na afoforo enso ensa akaben. Please click on the notification bell no so send ebe ya ye dey news be to platform so I won so wo hunu de air call ene de eba we are na order wadwenche enso ahye under the comment section nim e de ama yenko yensam no mu na yemfa ensam dodo na no enye de embre wa ye bo Edi era KKD na kachi na KKD in the nsembibri aba batuja efa chese like Okyehene Agyapade3 ni books ye himya na chese the more exposes aba batuja chese ofre Akroma NPP Akroma ne ho krone ba obo Okyehene ni achim mafias na chi pa gabi ni omo maka ho ye de ebaji ma na chese enyago yanko ne yanko hwe ensema ye ofa KKD anase ura KKD onunyamfo ba kope. You love this man or the two guy yanko ne yanko ti.
Ashanti is an English word. It is asante because of war.
Right.
We came together because of wars and battle, that when one is attacked we all will come together and defend. And when somebody attacks one of us, all of us have been attacked. But where is Asante today? Asante mine, ya yedin, ya nshe ya yabayan kwa.
Amushedeng.
Ya yedin ya yeshe say ya yekum na yeshe onyame adeboye ni ya yekum na yeshe onyame enyo nyame ni yeshe Akroma. Akromfo obi atwere krataa no krono sem ne ewidi sem ne nkwasi asem na ahyemu ma na emom Ghana fo buafu ne awatwere krataa no de bi enya ne awatwere krataa ne na ne buafu no na emom etrimodinfo ene sebita frache ejimifo ne ewa krataa no mu aye nyina ye gitum se enye no o mahwe ayo. But we are not outraged by what is written in the document Agyapade3.
Right.
We are outraged by the fact that if we accept that what is written in it is plunder of state, it's sabotage of a nation, all the things written in it has also been implemented.
But Okyehene, His Royal Majesty says it's fiction. The president says this is targeted at my tribe,
and I love them. And as somebody
and
who,
then Gabi3 says anybody who believes
please leave Gabi out of it. Please, no. You see, I worry when you elevate the mundane. Gabi is a good citizen who is working to earn a living to look after his family.
Right.
You and I did not vote for him. Somebody you voted for has empowered him to do whatever he does. So I don't like it when people attack him. Who voted for Gabi?
Well, but he is an Achim as well. So
yeah, but there are good Achims. You know, when you go to Achim, there are good Achims.
Right.
In the same way as there are good Krobos, as there are good guys, there are good Adansis. You know, there are in every society, in every field of endeavor, there is only one absolute superstar. But there will also be a cabal of wicked, selfish, greedy, plundering fools and their tools. So you talked about the fact that a chief, and you made a mistake. He's Okyehene.
Okay.
You see, the Okyehene has 3 key places there. You know, so he's Okyehene.
Okay.
You know, I don't think he's lord over the other villages there, unless they now swear allegiance to him. So let's get that clear in the first place.
Right.
I come from a royal palace and I have been taught culture since I was a child. It was intentional, you know, so it's not something that came by a freak of nature. No, I actually learned culture, and I even sat at the feet of Nikobitetetru La Manche to learn Ga culture. So I have actually learned it and understand it. And recently, you know, I went up not to go and greet Yana.
Right.
Because there too, there are chiefs who I sit with to learn about their culture.
Right.
Because as somebody who is an avowed linguist for my country, Ghana, it is important that I'm able to contextualize things when I speak about them. So you said Okyehene said, what?
It's fiction.
Okay, Kwabi Bremuhini says it's fiction.
Yeah.
That's okay. He's a citizen. And he's a leader of a certain part of Ghana. Did he say it himself or did he let his linguist say it?
He said it himself.
Now, that is one of the failures of many of our chiefs. One thing you should understand, that when people elevate you into a position of power, whether it is traditional leadership, public service leadership, political leadership, not thought leadership. People don't elevate you into thought leadership. You work to be seen as a thought leader. So I digress for a second.
Right.
When Frank Kafka wrote of political parties that one idiot is one idiot, 2 idiots are 2 idiots, 1,000 idiots is a political party, he had a reason for saying it. Because when you're part of that political party, whatever it is, whatever name you want to give it, if the leader does wrong and you criticize the leader, there is great likelihood they will silence you. And that is why linguists must not align themselves with political parties. I am more knowledgeable and better qualified than many people who have been appointed into government. I haven't gone to seek any government position.
But why?
No, because I can earn a living and be in a position where I can be giving to the poor and needy, not to help the greedy. But when we elevate people into positions of authority, they must first look for people who are honest. If they are not honest, don't call them. People who are selfless, if they are not selfless, don't call them. People whose income and property are verifiable, if they are not, don't call them. Because if it is not verifiable, well, it could be money that was poured from God, or it could be money that is sikagari, or it could be like Mario Puzo wrote on the first page of The Godfather, behind every fortune, there is a crime.
92.7.
So, it is only after you have gone through the test of honest, selfless, verifiable source of income that you must now look at competence. Because if you find the competent who are dishonest and who are selfish and whose source of wealth is a mystery,
It's not verifiable.
there is a great likelihood that when they come into government, they will plunder, they will steal.
So what do we...
So when I come to what the chief said,
Right. Kwabi Bremuhini.
when you are elevated into a position of authority, it does not give you monopoly over truth. You do not determine truth. No. And I started earlier by stating that power does not determine truth.
That's correct.
Truth is the ultimate power. What is the truth? Stop talking about the document and start talking about the fact that the things in the document have been implemented. That is my outrage. Not who wrote the document. Their language is poor. You know, some Ghanaians are impressed. I'm not. At 15, my son was the top youth speaker in the world, not in London, not in Africa, in the world. We sit and we debate. And some say, where is my courage from? I don't have courage. What I have is an upbringing by a modest father and a modest mother who taught us that everything we desire is already within us. And who taught us that we can earn an honest living and live with dignity. Now, beyond that, you said the president also said what?
Well, it's targeted at his tribesmen, or if you like, his kin and kin.
What is so special about his tribesmen that people will target them? Have you read J.B. Dankwa's letter? Can you put it on the screen? If you can ask your producer to.
Right. So it's the Obdam's letter.
Have you read that?
Yes, we have.
Is that something that you should envy a man for doing? You see, we spend our lives thinking people think so highly of us. And then when we are sick in bed in our old age, and none of our children is there to clean our poo, because we have taught our children to be corrupt. And in their corruption, they have no time for family values. And some poor stranger from our village's child is the one who grants us some dignity. We realize nobody really cared about us in the first place.
Are you disappointed in President Akuffo?
He's an individual. To err is human, but to really foul up things requires somebody who has been given power, who doesn't know how to use it, but to use it to plunder for his own family. President Akuffo has not given his daughter a $34.9 million contract. But if I were him, if it was my father, I tell you for certain that by now, my father would have fired the person who gave my child the contract.
And why would he do that?
He would do that because he would say, you were told by the Auditor General that this company that you are giving work.
Yo, yeah, the family, you know, the bro. I'm sure more subscribe here, subscribe, like it, Media, and share them out for fro and so and can be please click on the notification bell so send a be the news be to platform so I won't so well who the air call and the air by now yet try and some KKD a bro a year in Sembibri so I just say or din Sembibri a 2 a fat a year near maybe I just say Akuffo a year Ghana near Mumu and the inch or deliberate more on a year Ghana economy and a year how Ghana is run into a the church say on an ninja na or bon the rose a bang and society and ya de embrana or cancer be at the fast answer we call na yonkuti
doesn't do any work at all, does not have the expertise and does not have the staff. So why did you stop the work of all the others who were actually servicing the ambulances and then give it to somebody who exchanges bodily fluids with my daughter or has a child with my daughter? Because if somebody exchanges bodily fluids with me and the person has a child with me, whatever benefits accrue to them accrue to me. This is not wisdom. Wisdom is the highest form of common sense. This is just common sense. This is basic.
We have not climbed yet.
No, this is just common sense. This is basic.
So how is it that then we're not getting it right?
No, so I don't understand why. If the people are at post, and I've explained this already to you, that you judge the king by his courtiers.
Correct.
So if the courtiers are at post, who do the egregious, who do the odious, and who do the callous and malicious, then that is the character of the king.
But we have the men.
I try not to parrot the words of fools, and you should cease and desist in the words of Blay, whose wife stole beer when she was PR manager at ABC3 Limited and has been awarded a position as an ambassador. Yeah, I speak of Daily Guide. Publish it. Your wife was sacked for stealing beer at ABC3 Limited. And she's been awarded an ambassador.
The ABC3
Limited, where I was advertising manager.
Right.
Where Michael Vass was the marketing manager. Where Bruno Rao, Michael Vass was the managing director, and Bruno Rao was the marketing manager. Look, we live in a country where everybody knows everybody. A beer thief, a common thief, sacked for thievery, represents Ghana as an ambassador.
I see.
You know, and we all sit down and we tickle ourselves in the armpits and laugh. Yeah, this is a fact. I was working there. There was staff there. You know, and sometimes
there was an investigation.
Please. And then they try to get the managing director deported. For what?
No, but
Germans don't take that nonsense.
But this allegation is a serious.
It's not allegation. It's a fact. What do you mean allegation? Do I look like somebody who does allegations? I'm the one that people allege things against. I state facts.
I see.
Why? There are people from ABC Brewery who are still alive. I mean, we live in a society where we are divided along the lines of party. So if somebody has done something wrong in your party, you don't speak about it or you defend them. If they've done something wrong in another party, then you speak about it and you defend them. I don't have a party. My party is Ghana, my motherland. And we must all work towards ensuring that the best elements of our society are the leaders. We may have made a mistake to elect some people, and they also may have made a mistake to appoint some people. But this nonsense must stop.
At what point?
Now. Everybody who has been named in the Agyapade document, whether it is fact or fiction, whether it is written by a wicked person who has told people who wrote that document or who implemented that document, that if you want your children to succeed, give them water from a gutter to drink in the morning. Give them kerosene to drink in the afternoon. Make sawdust and chicken poo and feed them with it in the evening. And then after somebody has said those things or written those things, you implement them. Who is the fool?
Well, it's 56 minutes after 8 here on Sunrise on 3FM 92.7. My guest is the finest King Kwesi J. Dakwa, and it's been an interesting conversation so far. Your thoughts and comments are invited on our X platform at 3FM 927, also on Facebook at 3FM 927, and we are live. So like, share, and comment. Leave a comment there. We'll share that with the rest of the wonderful world. Let's get into very...
Just before you go there,
right?
You remember how when I was falsely accused, Daily Guide was so strong in doing nasty stories on me.
Right.
So I just sent one person to tell the man and his wife that the next thing you write about me, I'll tell the world about your petty thievery.
Right.
Why do people want to pretend that everything is kosher when we know that it is not?
So it was when you sent somebody there that the reportage stopped, or what? Because we don't have that.
I do not know.
We don't.
I do not know.
Because we don't have that.
And then
report.
you remember when my son said he was trans. Oh, they were also very strong on it. And then I reminded them again, and then they shut up. But I realized,
but we don't have that. We don't have the benefit of that report as a media house.
You don't have
we can't independently verify.
No, you can independently verify. Go back into ABC records.
No, at this particular time.
Yes,
at this particular time.
You can always. No, I am not. You see, I don't speak on TV or radio and withdraw. I was raised by wise parents.
Right.
I speak truth, and I am not afraid to speak truth. In President Mahama's era, when they said Akuffo flew out of Ghana,
right,
and I spoke about it, was I NDC or NPP?
You were Ghanaian.
In President Rawlings's era, when there was a petrol shortage, and I spoke about it on radio and I was taken off air at GBC, that I do not understand why when there is a petrol shortage and people driving Beetles cannot even get petrol for their cars, some people in government are driving Pajeros. Why aren't they driving smaller cars that consume less? Was I NPP or NDC? You see, my brother, how much are we going to eat, wear, and enjoy before we die? And how much is enough? Really, how much?
Do people threaten you?
Oh, plenty.
What do they say?
The last one, my pastor called me and then he says, Kwesi, and then I burst out laughing. And he says, "She, menoka, serious matter, what's it?" And then he said it in English actually. Right. And then I said, Osofo, aren't you the very man who says when we die we'll go to heaven?
92.
Why aren't we in a hurry to die and go to heaven? You know, so he asked me, where is this your courage from?
Right.
In fact, Sixtus also sent me a text this morning to ask me that question. I think, let me see if I can find the answer I sent to Sixtus Dongulo. And I've told Sixtus that he needs to be on radio or television because he cannot use that voice just for seducing his wife at home. He should use it for work. He should put it to the use.
He actually joins us in the morning for the news review segment.
I like that. He has a lovely voice, beautiful voice. And I want to read what I sent to Sixtus because I have forgotten exactly what I wrote. Sometimes I write stuff and I realize later that it is not my power that wrote what I did. Okay, so Sixtus says, I associate with the question, where do you get your courage from? Because I think Mugabe Mase also asked me that question. And my answer to Sixtus is,
my dear brother Sixtus Dongulo, how are you? This question, dear, I don't know if I have to write a thesis or I have to answer with electives. But really, I think everything we are is actually a bundle of gifts and an accident of genes. So the genes of my parents and my grandparents before them are part of it. And then the upbringing is part of it. Because we were taught to speak our minds as children. My father would raise an issue and expect you to speak your mind on it. You know, and in doing so for years, you gained a certain competence in responding to questions properly. And with that competence, you gained a certain confidence. And then with that confidence, you gained courage.
Nyame insurance wa hwedwumadi no ebese esemre onye okese na bibia wo ye bia no eja enkoso na unso de bia nya brena ebehwe edwumadi no POG Media. We always serve you with the best of a news such as a news eye enkan so da eno ene ye de be bremo eno ena afi me chere say afi ye beto abanti eye news bi say ena wutieti a chese ebebo na onso wateki eye the decision a chese eno so be de ebebo our life ene ehon kro ne bana ye beko the dwumadi no ebisi ya because ye say inso eche ewo eye let me say a bottle or any kind of a yima de isha na in some no ha ene de bisi am there was still more other subsequent stories and the bremo, so stay tuned.